Hey guys, welcome back to Taste Soul Good. So today we are recreating and testing what has been called the world's most perfect ramen. I'm super excited to try it out. I've got everything ready here, so let's get ready and go. Alright, so if you're new to my channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button as I do upload weekly videos on Korean food, life, culture, and entertainment, and you don't want to miss a video. Alright, so this recipe was inspired by Chef Roy Choi. So if you don't know, he's a very famous chef out in California, in America. So this recipe is for what he calls the most perfect ramen. So I've got everything here. So I'm going to start off by having one package of shin ramyun. This is Korean's favorite ramen. It's sold everywhere. I've got 2.5 cups of water. I have 1 egg. I have 2 slices of processed American cheese. I have about half of a green onion that's been finely chopped. And the specialty that makes this recipe so unique is about half a teaspoon of butter. That's right. I've never had instant noodles with butter, so this should be a very interesting combination. So I've got my pot here. I'm going to boil the water and then we're going to check it out. Alright, so my water has started boiling. So if you're not familiar, this pot is special in Korea and it's made exactly for this purpose, which is for cooking instant noodles. So now that the water has started to boil, I'm going to add the noodles to it. So again, this is called shin ramyun. This is what is probably the most popular type of instant noodles in Korea, and they absolutely love these. So these cost 750 won at the grocery store. So it's very affordable. If you like spicy noodles, you'll like this. They're not as spicy as maybe the fire chicken noodles, but they're more spicy than maybe a beef noodle. So they are very flavorful. All right, so here are the instant noodles. So I'm going to add it to the pot. I'm going to let that cook for about 2 minutes. After that, I'm going to add the seasoning packages. So these have 2 different types of seasonings. These are like freeze-dried vegetables. There's maybe some green onions, some beef, and some mushrooms, and then this is the seasoning packet itself. So I'm just going to wait for the noodles to cook for about 2 more minutes, and then we will start adding the next ingredients. Alright, so the noodles have been boiling for about 2 minutes, so now I'm going to add the seasoning packets to it. So this is the normal seasoning packet. Smells really good. Smells beefy, a little bit of spice to it. It's pretty nice. And then these are just the freeze-dried vegetables and beef pieces. Alright, so after the noodles have boiled for about 3 more minutes, it's soaking up that sauce. Going to add the egg. So I've cracked the egg already. I'm going to gently drop it in and let it poach inside. So I'm not going to stir it up at all. I'm just going to put it inside of the soup and then cover it a little bit with the noodles so it gets poached. So hopefully I'm going to keep that runny egg yolk. Alright, so after it's boiled for a few seconds, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat, and then I'm going to add the 2 slices of American cheese. So these are really simple pieces of cheese. You can get them anywhere. Cheese ramyun isn't very special in Korea. You can get that anywhere. They absolutely love adding this type of cheese. It does make the broth a little richer and cuts down some of that spiciness. So this is something I've tried before. I've never added 2 pieces before, so this should be a little interesting. So I've added that in. I'm going to let it melt for a little bit. Then I'm going to add that special secret ingredient, which is the butter. So butter isn't very popular in Korea. It's not something that you keep in the refrigerator. It is pretty expensive and just something that you don't have a lot. And it's something that I've never seen added to ramyun. So we'll check it out. So I'm going to add this butter into the ramen. So I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of it. Let that melt. Let the cheese melt. Let the egg cook. And then I'm going to take it off the heat and then add the green onions, and then we're ready to enjoy. Alright, so I've removed the cooked ramen off of the heat. So now I'm going to add the finishing touch, which is the green onion. So this should give it a little bit more flavor. It already smells really, really nice. The egg is hopefully cooked. The butter's melted. The cheese has kind of melted on the top there. It smells really, really nice. If you've never tried Korean instant noodles or Korean ramen, it's something you should definitely check out. So it's not like American ramen, which is kind of flavorless and just not very good. Korean ramen is actually really nice. It's something that I actually crave and eat sometimes. Alright, so here is the finished product. So I'm going to stir it up a little bit. I'm going to be careful not to break that egg. So I've got that cheese on top. I've got those green onions, let them cook up a little bit. Then I've got that butter that's just floating on top. Oh, it looks so creamy. Oh, there's the egg. So it's kind of poached up a little bit. Oh, my mouth is watering, guys. It smells really, really nice. It's going to be really hot. Ooh. Alright, so I've got a little bit of the ramen here. I've got the green onions, I got a little bit of egg. I've got that broth, which is now kind of a bright yellow, so it's really cheesy. Normally I would only add one package of cheese, but let's check it out. Bon appetit. Oh, interesting. Alright, so at first I was a little concerned because it did call for 2.5 cups of water, which I thought was a little too much. But I think by adding all that butter, it kind of makes the broth more salty. And so using 2.5 cups of water kind of cuts down the saltiness of the flavor packaging in the shin ramyun. So I would keep it. I would keep 2.5 cups of water. You get a lot of that American cheese flavor as well, which is pretty salty. So if you're on a diet or you're watching your sodium, this is something I would not recommend trying because it is pretty salty. You get the crunch of the green onions. So the egg that's included isn't really unique. It's something that I've done often. I think even back home. In America, I'd put egg in my instant noodles. But it does just kind of give it that extra kick. So I would say it really transforms the flavor from that shin ramyun, which is actually really good. It's something that I enjoy. With the addition of the butter, this makes it totally different, totally creamy, as well as that cheese. By putting 2 packages of cheese, it's just kind of a cheese overload. It's almost like eating a slightly spicy, watery macaroni and cheese, because there's that much cheese flavor. And then here's kind of the remnants of the egg. So it's really nice. So it's poached. It's been poached by the water in the ramen package. So it's still a little bit of that yellow. So it's really good. Fantastic. I would definitely say this is how I will probably cook my instant noodles from now on. As long as I have butter and cheese and green onions in the pantry, I will definitely cook it this way. He does call for sesame seeds, which I forgot to pick up, unfortunately, and I don't have sesame seeds in the house. But by putting a little bit of sesame seeds on the top, it might give it a little bit more of a crunch and a little bit more extra flavor. Alright, so now I want to give the broth a little bit of a taste test by itself. So I've eaten most of the noodles. Again, that broth is really kind of orange, kind of yellowy. It's got all those goodies in it. Oh yeah, guys, it's where it's at. So normally I wouldn't eat the soup base of the noodles by themselves because it would just be way too salty. But this is pretty well balanced. So you still have pieces of egg that's been poached in there, and then the green onions. Really excellent. Alright guys, so that ends our video. I had an absolutely great time making this Roy Choi ramen recipe. I thought it was really good, probably some of the best instant noodles that I've had. and I think you should definitely try it out. If you do, let me know down in the comments below. Alright, so that ends our video here. If you'd like to, be sure to give me a big thumbs up. Go ahead and click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell for future videos. Alright, until next time, have a great day, and I'll see you later.